Hey St. Bricks, welcome. Today I'm going to be reviewing 8 Kayali fragrances for you guys. Apologies for the voice. If you're watching me for the first time and you enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe, hit notifications, and like this video. Over 75% of the people that watch my videos don't subscribe, so please don't forget to hit that button. It really does help my channel. Okay, guys, so I already owned 4 Kayali fragrances, and then I recently purchased another 4 10 ml vials. So I have spritzed the fragrances and I've worn them, and I made some notes here about just the thoughts that came up when I smelt them for the first time, as well as how they wore, how they performed, and if I thought they were worth the $200-ish price point. The first one we're going to review is Musk 12. Okay, so I've sprayed the test strip with Musk 12. Full disclaimer, I am not a Musk lover. I do definitely enjoy Musk in a well-balanced fragrance, but I would never normally gravitate towards an overly dominant musky fragrance. So I am a little concerned, but I also want to remain optimistic. Let's smell it and see if she's worth over $200 a bottle. It smells like a slightly sweet, musky, soapy, clean fragrance to me. It's certainly pleasant. For me, honestly, this one was kind of basic, There was nothing bad about it or horrible about it. It's one of those fragrances that, you spray and then you kind of don't give much thought to it after that. I will say though that it is not an overbearing musky fragrance. Sometimes if you overdo musk, it can feel very old-fashioned and stuffy. This one has a fresh aspect, a clean aspect, and because the musk isn't overly dominant, it does, as I said, smell very pleasant, easy to wear. But again, it's a little basic to me. Honestly, the only situation that I could see myself grabbing Musk 12 and thinking this is a great opportunity to wear this fragrance would be to go to bed. It would be like a relaxing, chill, kind of comforting, cleanish, musky scent. I couldn't imagine whacking it on for many other occasions other than that, to be honest. Another good idea for wearing this would be the gym for sure. It's not too heavy, it's not overpowering. Perfect gym scent, absolutely. Unfortunately, longevity and projection is honestly pretty bad with this fragrance. Even on the test strip right now, like when I wore it, I remember thinking, where did it go? Like it just disappeared within minutes. But even this time on the test strip, like it's getting harder and harder to pick up. So it is not a strong fragrance by any means. I wouldn't call it a mediocre fragrance. I would actually call it a weak performing fragrance. While there is nothing terrible about this scent, and there are certainly much worse out there, I think for the price point of this fragrance and what it gives you, I do not believe the price is justified. Okay, guys, we're doing Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper next. Okay, so the same things happened when I sprayed the test strip as when I first tried the fragrance. It totally reminds me of Club de Nuit Intense Woman by Amarth and Roses Vanille by Mancera. It's like they had a baby. I'm getting both of them absolutely. It has this dominant rose and saffron presence to it, just like in the Amarth fragrance, but then has that sweet, syrupy rose twist like Mancera's Roses Vanille does. It's definitely a nice fragrance. I personally enjoyed both of those fragrances, so it's a no-brainer that I would enjoy this one. The only problem that I have is that again, it doesn't wow me. Do I think it's as generic as Musk 12? No, I do not. I think it's definitely more complex than that. But we've got to remember that this is over $200 a bottle, and I don't know if the value is there. Honestly, I would be more inclined to buy a Mancera fragrance. The longevity and projection is better, the scents are amazing, and they're the same price. I mean, it also too has this kind of artificial rose and baby white scent to it. It's not horrible. I know with what I'm saying, it probably sounds like to you guys that it's horrible. It's not horrible. Okay, it's actually a scent that I would happily wear. I just wouldn't be comfortable paying that price for it. Okay, so the next one we're going to try is invite only. So the scent notes of invite only sounds amazing and they sound right up my alley. Notes like sour cherry, tobacco leaf, honey, chocolate, and hazelnut. As a gourmand lover, this was one of the ones that I was super stoked to try. I was surprised when I smelt the fragrance for the first time because it lent quite boozy, and I couldn't see any boozy notes in the scent profile, but it's like a honey tobacco boozy scent. There's also definitely some sort of a chocolatey feel to it. There is a cacao note in this fragrance. Honestly, I love honey and tobacco, but I feel like if I had have gotten more cherry, honey, and chocolate, being a gourmand lover, I think that would have really catapulted this fragrance for me into a must have. It's definitely warm, sensual, and polarizing, but there's something about it for me where I feel like it kind of missed the mark. Like it was trying to do this, but it kind of did this. It didn't quite get there. I just don't think that it managed to totally pull it off. And with so many amazing honey tobacco fragrances out there, you would have to be able to pull it off to be able to stand up against the competition. Okay, guys, so the fourth one is Vanilla Royal Sugared Patchouli. This one, again, sounded particularly interesting to me. Okay, so full disclaimer again, I am not a patchouli lover. I can tolerate it in a well balanced fragrance, but I would never go out of my way to purchase a fragrance that was a heavy patchouli scent. I find patchouli can smell dirty and earthy, but with all the sugared goodness going on with this one and vanilla, I thought it might be able to counteract that very strong patchouli. Unfortunately, I did find the patchouli to be a little bit too overbearing, but that actually wasn't the reason that it put me off. There was this kind of leather oud dominant presence, and in combination with kind of a dirty patchouli, it just was too harsh. It was not smooth. It just, for me, this one was not an enjoyable experience at all. I also detected a lot of eucalyptus in this fragrance. It doesn't state it in the scent notes, but there is a weird, fresh, kind of chemical eucalyptus background, and it is strong. I mean, it is everywhere in this fragrance. I do enjoy the sweetness this fragrance offers, but unfortunately, the rum note, which would have possibly been my savior, it's very raw smelling and it smells way too raw and alcoholic for my liking. This revelation obviously came with disappointment because even though there were definitely notes in this fragrance that I don't normally like, I thought the other scent notes that were in it, and they were plentiful, were going to be enough to bring it back to me. But unfortunately, I would never purchase this fragrance ever. And this is probably my least liked out of all of them. Okay, guys, we are up to my bottles now, and this one is Eden Juicy Apple. Again, with these scent note listings, this fragrance was likely going to be something that I really did enjoy. And it certainly is. I mean, is it the most complex, unique scent in the world? Absolutely not. No, it's not. It's this unapologetically sweet, sugared, candied apple scent. It's definitely a bubblegummy, young, sweet scent. But in saying that, I don't think it's strictly like adolescent. I think anybody could wear this fragrance if they just want a beautiful, sugared apple hit. The only issue I take with Eden Juicy Apple is that I feel like the apple does not hang around long enough. And I just wish it did because when I smell the red apple initially, it's so intoxicatingly good. But then the apple kind of drops off and then you're left with just the sweetness without a fruity balance. And that's really the only issue I take with Eden Juicy Apple. While I do love this fragrance, I can definitely say that I don't know if the price is justified, being that there are similar fragrances out there that are a lot cheaper. So you do not have to buy this fragrance to get this result. There are plenty of options out there, like Victoria's Secret body sprays and fragrances that really do smell like this one. So you don't really need to outlay that huge $200 cash price up front. I'm so sorry about my voice. Okay, guys, so the next bottle is Lovefest Burning Cherry. I actually really did enjoy Lovefest Burning Cherry. Um, there is a similarity to Tom Ford Lost Cherry in this fragrance, but I do think that they are drastically different as well. It really does pull you in, this fragrance. When you first try it, it does grab you. I mean, it's definitely addictive, definitely polarizing, and absolutely delicious. It really does start off as like dark, ripened, juicy cherries stewing in like a boozy, smoky, candied syrup. Definitely mouth-watering and definitely gourmand for sure. So it's promising in the beginning, isn't it? And then I throw this at you. So once you get past that very short point in the beginning, the cherry just ghosts you. I'm talking like nowhere to be seen. And then the cherry that you're left behind with, the teeny tiny little bit of cherry, turns into a medicinal cough syrup like cherry. Unfortunately, for this reason, and the fact that the cherry does disappear so unbelievably quickly, I cannot say that I would ever repurchase this fragrance. While I love the initial spritz of it, I do not believe that, $220 that it costs is justified. I think that there are better cherry fragrances that last longer and the cherry hangs around for. Okay, guys, so the next fragrance we're going to do is Vanilla 28. So, firstly, just straight out of the gate here, I love Vanilla 28. I mean, there's not much there not to like. It really is a true, effortless vanilla gourmand fragrance. While the scent is absolutely beautiful, which, I mean, it totally is. It's so good. Smelling it now, you remind yourself, like, unfortunately, though, it is unbearably weak, at least on my skin. The only way I can really make use of Vanilla 28 is to use it as a layering fragrance. And don't get me wrong, I have made some of the most beautiful layering combos ever. And it was thanks to this fragrance. But as a solo vanilla scent, it just cannot stand the test of time. It just goes. I mean, I sprayed it like a minute ago and it's almost gone off the test strip already. So while the scent is absolutely stunning, and I cannot dispute that, it is one of the yummiest, sticky, classic vanilla scents. It doesn't last, and for that reason, I'm going to have to say that if I was to ever purchase it again, it would be purely as a layering scent and not for the scent on its own, which can get really expensive. They're already $200 a bottle, and then you've got to add another one to it. So when you think of it like that, cost versus reward, I don't know, is it worth it? Okay, guys, so now we have the final one, and that is the Yum Pistachio Gelato. It's Kayali's newest release. I actually did an unboxing first impression and a wear test of this fragrance. If you guys want to go and check that out for a more detailed review. Yum Pistachio, it confuses me. And it's difficult for me because I actually do like the scent. The scent is quite beautiful. The only issue that I took with this fragrance was the fact that when I purchased it, I was purchasing a true gourmand. I mean, if you look at the scent notes of this fragrance, it is so dense and thick and dessert like that you would expect to be like hit with, syrupy goodness and sweetness. And I got hit with a lot of freshness bergamot. There were some soapy elements, clean elements to it as well. While there is definitely nutty, creamy, lactonic undertones, and there certainly is some sweetness there, when you throw, cotton candy and whipped cream and all of these indulgent notes in, you expect something different. Is this a really interesting, fresh summer gourmand? Yes, it absolutely is. Would I have purchased it had I have known it wasn't going to give me everything that I was after? Probably not. But it gets tricky because I do actually like this scent. So it is a new addition to my collection. I've only had it a very short amount of time. I think that I need to kind of wear it a few more times and really make my mind up about if I think that this would be worth the $200 price point. Okay, Scent Freak, so that is my Kayali review. I know I didn't have all the Kayali fragrances. I think I was actually maybe like 2 or 3 short. But I hope I've been able to shed some light for you guys about these fragrances. If you have any more questions about these Kayali fragrances, shoot it in the comments below and I will definitely get back to you. Thank you so much, Scent Freaks, and I hope to see you all next time. Take care, guys. Bye bye.